Love is a way of building to a crescendo. Ride if you will, ride it with me.
60 degrees in the pot, 4 degrees outside. It is cold, but I will say it warmed up and rained just enough to make everything look brown and exposing dormant grass, making it look ugly. As it started to get colder last night, a nice fluffy snow started to fall. So all of those brown ugly patches are covered. So I don't have to stare at brown ugly patches at 3 degree, 2 degree weather. I mean, look at this. 5. It's 5 degrees outside right now. And Matt and his family are down in Georgia, hopefully a little bit warmer, hopefully in their 30s. That'd be great. 30s, 40s, 30s, 20s. 20s would be better. There's a Nando's. For those not familiar, a Nando's is like an upscale, whatever the hell that means, upscale chicken place. Fried chicken, probably grilled chicken, but they have their sauces. One is a peri-peri sauce, which is actually kind of tasty. But they're a British chain. But there's a Nando's in Atlanta, Georgia, and they happened to find it and went to it to eat yesterday because Dad's not going to eat much anything else except for chicken. And Dad's glowing review, just like his glowing review of everything, is it's fine. Oh my gosh, you take him to a restaurant and it's a big juicy steak and it's delicious and it's cooked right. How's your steak, Dad? It's fine. I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, so they're in Georgia. They had a night's sleep last night, I assume. They're going to go to a pepper rally today. They're going from one hotel where they slept to another hotel where I guess it's a tailgate. I don't know how much tailgating you can do inside of the Marriott Conference Center, but I'll bet there'll be no tails nor gates in the building. So this is the coffee families. Beautiful coffee from Columbia. Such a wonderful smell. Very fruity, almost a fruity smell to it. Just absolutely delicious because it's the naturally processed stuff. It's not honey processed, which is different. It's naturally processed, which means it's still in the bean. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. I meant to spritz. Let me see. Can I get this back in here? Kinda. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's still some beans down there in the bottom, but I think we'll be able to suss those out. Oh, yeah. As Wario would say. Misting with water. I guess I need a better mister. I watch other people's misters, and they're very misty. This is more of a direct shot of water onto the beans, and I didn't shake that up at all. We're working on 2 cylinders today. Doing well. Okay. There we go. Very little drama. Some of them did get stuck to the side, but like I said, I didn't shake it in the chahi enough, so that's fine. Basically, dosing cup? No. There's a I think there's a difference between a dosing cup and this. This is, this would probably be a dosing cup if push were to come to shove. Usually they're round, and it's where the beans are directly distributed. This is more of a tool to insert, I guess. Whatever. So yes, it's football day today, and it's also Martin Luther King Day today. It's really interesting. I think in grade school we had a blurb about it in our history books, and that was about it. So it's really kind of sad. It seems like a historical figure like him should be talked about a little bit more, but I wonder why he's not. Do you know? Water's heating up. I guess we can talk down here. I must have did something to the back of my leg yesterday. I was every which way but loose over here on the floor. Have you ever started to do something and then said to yourself, boy, I don't think my spouse is going to like that when they notice it, but you're already in the middle of it, and the thought only occurred to you at that point, so it's like, well, I might as well just keep going and whatever, I took the door off the hinges. I took the hinge pin out of the door leading into the laundry room, which to me just seems to make sense because they're going to be putting a washer through there, and the door swings inward, and when the door's open, it's basically blocking half of the access to the washing machine. So it's like, to me, that makes sense to remove the door to make it easier to get the old one out and get the new one in there. Now, I'm not putting the old one out. I'm not putting the new one in. That's all being handled by the folks bringing it. But I don't know why you wouldn't want to make that easier for them to do. So, and I floated the idea. I said I could just take the door off the hinges, and I don't know whether he thought that was a good idea or a bad idea. He just went, and then we moved on. So, about 2 hours after he left yesterday, 3 hours, I guess, I took the door off the hinges, and the door's in the bedroom. So that last one, boy, to get the last one off was really, really a pain. I mean, all the weight's on it, so it's like it kind of flexes, so it makes it so that the bolt's hard to get out. But eventually I did it. And I think it'll be fine. There we go. All right, let that go for 30 seconds. Yeah, so that's coming tomorrow. So that's going to be tomorrow's excitement, along with hopefully an Ohio State win. They can be national champions. That said, I hope that they give us a little bit of time so we can watch the trophy ceremony if they win. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, maybe people could be petty enough to be like, no, when the game's over with, you got to be straight back at the bus because we got to go. But it would be weird, I think, if you went all the way there, they won the national championship, and you weren't allowed to stay to watch. Allowed. You just paid like $2,300 a person to go down and stay there for 3 days, 2 nights, and watch a football game. You paid for that. I don't know why there would be any. I mean, that just seems like it's part of it. Why wouldn't you be allowed? The idea that you might not be allowed to watch the presentation of the trophy to the winning team, which hopefully is yours. I mean, I guess it's possible that people can be like that, but it would just drive me batty to think we're not allowed to stay. Allowed. After I paid you for this, allowed to stay, I mean, I know that there's got to be rules and regs, and I know that there's got to be certain times when people have to be out of there and whatnot, but, if there's even a little bit of fear that they might not allow you to stay and you have to be on the bus immediately, I mean, there's a lot of fear has some precedent, so I don't know what precedent they might have for that kind of a fear. I mean, last year, he told me, well, no, it wasn't last year. When they went to Oregon this year, to the Oregon game, they had someone get separated from the group because they were drunk and they found themselves on campus. And the tour guide didn't leave. They wouldn't leave until that person was accounted for, which makes sense. You know, it's the human thing to do. But they waited, you know, I think it was 45 minutes they waited for them to get back. And it's pretty ridiculous. But, you know, so, I mean, you've got to set rules. I mean, there's a reason why don't drink is on the side of a bleach bottle, you know? Do not drink, you know? It seems like that should be elementary, but it's not. So they have to put it on the side of the bottle so that they don't get sued when someone drinks bleach and it hurts them. So, and I believe she was probably the reason for that warning on the side of the bleach bottle. She was drunk and she just left the group and went on campus. And, you know, here's a boatload of people spread out against 2 buses, you know, being like, we need to get back to the hotel. We need to get out of here. We need to leave the area because, you know, the buses can only loiter there for so long. And, you know, there's a line of them. So, it's just, you know, it's just ridiculous. And people just think they are. And he called me last night. He was in the lobby of the hotel and people were and it was like, what, 10 o'clock at night? And people were hooting and hollering and yelling. And it's like, why? I mean, I know you're drunk. I mean, I guess it's better to hoot and holler in the lobby than it is to be up in your room screaming, OH. Ugh, don't get me started with that. It's just awful. But he was down in the lobby saying, hey, how are you? And, you know, whatnot. And there's this person in the background just screaming, ouch! Ooh. I mean, sure, have pride in your football team, but being obnoxious, it's just really gross. Chunky. You don't want your coffee chunky, but you do want it black. And in a white contrasting mug, just so you can see how dark it is. That's very nice. I mean, medium dark. It's just a medium. It's not a medium dark. Oh, goodness. So I don't know what's going to happen today. I'm probably going to go, I mean, I know it's 5 degrees outside, but I'm probably going to take the car and bundle up and then go to the grocery store. Not in that order. I'll bundle up first and then get in the car. But we're out of milk. So that's why I didn't do the maca pot today. I was going to, but then I'm like, oh boy, I really don't want to do that without having some milk to make it not strong. You know? that would be kind of nice. Especially since I can't grind down fine enough really to make it not overly bitter. So, plus I don't really have the coffee, I guess, to do that. I mean, I think that that golden one from Italy in the golden bag might be fine enough to do it. And that's what I was going to do it with. But I guess I don't have any milk, so I'm going to go get milk today. And I really don't need much anything else. Probably something for dinner. I don't know. I had an old burrito that was in the back of the freezer. Seemed fine. Took about 45 minutes to cook in the air fryer, which was a little weird. I was in there for like 15 minutes at like 350, and then I pulled it out, and the outside had started to get crispy, but then in the middle still registered like 67 degrees. So I load and slowed it for another 20 minutes. At like 200. So it didn't burn. It didn't dry out either. It was actually pretty good for an old burrito that I'm sure was bought a long time ago. So and I got ravioli down there and stuff like that. But I hate opening a brand new jar of pasta sauce for like 4 ravioli. So we'll figure it out. But I definitely need to get milk. So yeah, it's just a really, really fun citrusy kind of flavor without too much acidity. I don't know if that's the acidity. Maybe that's the acidity. I don't know. It seems like if it were really full of acid like that, I would feel, like lemony wince. You know what I mean? But I just don't. It's just a very pleasant kind of citric flavor to it. Well, I don't really have much else to talk about today. It's Martin Luther King Day. It's going to be Buckeyes versus Notre Dame tonight. They're getting to the field at 3:30, and then the game doesn't start until 7. So that's... I suppose that there's going to be a lot of stuff to do, and I'll bet there's a lot of stuff to see at that brand new stadium. I'm sure it's nice around there, but that is an awful long time to be waiting around to watch a football game. You're there for 4 hours, and then you're sitting through a game for basically 4 hours, and then you gotta wait for everybody to get back to the bus, and then you get to go home, and then you get to go to the hotel, and you get to sleep. And you only get to sleep until like 7 a.m. because they're leaving to go at 7:30 to the airport in the morning. So it's not... I guess it's not a vacation, it's a sports trip, so I guess that could be different. Even though I would personally say that was kind of like a vacation, like a 3-day vacation. It just doesn't seem very relaxing if you were to call that a vacation. We're going on vacation, we're going to watch a football game. It just doesn't seem, especially if you're with a tour group. You're with a group of people that has an agenda set out. At 7 o'clock is breakfast at the hotel. At noon, we're going to a tailgate. And then at 3 o'clock, we're leaving to go to the stadium. If there's an itinerary, it's not a vacation. It's a rule-based visit, So I don't know. I don't know. I've done things with itineraries before, and I don't know. It wasn't that much fun. It was like when we wanted to do the trip to Japan last year, and we found out that, boy, it's going to be really expensive to do that. This year might be a lot less expensive, but last year it was the tail end of it being pricey to fly over there. But everything, we wanted to go with a group. And just because we don't know any Japanese, we don't know the lay of the land, it would be easier for us to be with people, or at least a guide of some kind to where, we could navigate easier. It's a lot like Medellin, Colombia with Jose and Daniel. It was so much nicer to have our friends with us to help. But down there or over there, it wouldn't be friends. It would be someone we paid to be our friend and not leave us stranded. So, but it was all itinerary based. It was like, check in the hotel this time, check out of the hotel this time. We're going to, we're going to be down in Okinawa. Okinawa would be gorgeous, but that's really far south for a lot of the tours because they were mostly mainland Japan. And it was all itinerary based, with points in between where you were going to get some free time to go look at shops and do stuff like that. But, still that flies by so much faster than planned activities, Just ask any school kid. Thank you for watching today. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good Monday, regardless of what's happening today. Remember, Dad once told me, be careful out there, man. Don't get mixed up with those Antifa people. Those Antifa people are horrible. And I'm like, I don't think I've spoken to a World War II veteran since college. I hope you have a great day, and we'll come in tomorrow. We'll do some, maybe I'll get the milk and we'll do a maca pot. That would probably be the best thing to do tomorrow. We'll watch the volcano erupt in the rainbow. And we'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye.